2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of Family Chats, where sports brings the family together. My name is Freddie Rivera. I'm the dad and the uncle here. My son Giovanni Rivera right next to me. Say what's up, Joe.
What's up, everybody? What's up, YouTube? What's up, SoundCloud? What's up, Instagram? What's up, Facebook? What's up, everybody? Glad to be back.
Thanks for joining us. Got my nephew over there at the end. Angel, say what's up.
What's going on, everyone? Get ready to talk. We have a lot to talk about today.
Yes, sir. We have a lot to talk about. Lots happening in the NBA. Major League Baseball's about to get started. NCAA scandals going on. Can Tiger Woods come back? I hope so, because golf is born without it. So, with that, let's get started. What topic we have here to start the week, Joe?
Well, a pretty big scandal coming out right before March Madness. Obviously, college basketball is starting to heat up, and we found out that I think 8 big name schools have been found and investigated in paying players under the radar, under the table, you know.
Yeah.
So basically, the question is, should the NCAA change their rules, or should just in general college basketball players be paid?
Go ahead, Angel. You started off. I'll answer after. You started off. What do you think about that?
All right. Well, with me being a college athlete, I did finish my 4 years, so would have
been nice.
it would have been nice, to maybe get a couple of dollars.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is that this kid and these teams haven't just been giving these guys $100. They've been paying them $100,000 to come and play for their school. So that right there says to yourself, what are these coaches thinking? But first off, they're especially for basketball, there's not too many players on the basketball team.
Yeah.
So for those types of scholarships, most of those guys are getting free scholarships. They're getting free schooling. They pretty much get everything
Free
for free.
meals,
free
stay.
meals, free stay at the school at big time campuses that you have to pay $20,000 to $40,000 a year just to go to that school, and these kids are going for free. And all of a sudden now coaches are giving $100,000, $150,000 just so the kid can go to the school. And we'll talk about the Arizona, because the Arizona coach obviously got caught, and that went around Sports Center and everything. So with that being said, question: should college players get paid?
Yes.
Not if. Yes, it would be nice for the college player to get paid, but most of these guys go one and done anyway. They go straight to the NBA right after the freshman year.
Well, here's my problem with it, right? I believe that the NCAA ball players should get paid, because what's my thought on it is all these universities are making a fortune off the sport, right? Not only basketball, but football. And they're making a fortune. When coaches are getting paid multi-million dollars in college, it tells you what type of money is coming into these sports and these universities because of the colleges. So the students know that they're getting paid. This has been happening a long time. People know that college players have been getting paid for a long time, and just a matter of do they get caught or not, right? And over the years, there has been teams that have gotten caught, slap on the wrist, lose a championship, but ultimately continue going. So what do you guys think about the NCAA college basketball or football, matter of fact? Should colleges and universities start paying their players?
Listen.
Because ultimately, right, like you said, Angel, most of these, because of the NBA, and this is where it comes in. I think the NBA needs to change their ruling where they say that college student needs to stay in college more than 1 year. Because what's happening is the college students that are NBA ready are just going to school for 1 year to use because they have to.
Yeah.
It's not because they want to in a lot of cases. They just want to take the next step to the NBA. So should the NBA do anything to help college sports is probably a bigger question. But a lot of these teams already know the rules. But I believe over the years, this has been happening a long time. And, it's nothing new. James, I see, what do you say here? They should be paid, but it will be very complex to set up.
Because you can't pay the players differently.
Yeah,
because,
yeah,
I mean,
it's true. James saying that he believes it should, but it's going to be very hard to
but
get
still,
it started.
even if you're playing players like $1,000 a month.
Yeah, just something.
Because because they can't have jobs
Right,
because they're
right.
such student athletes, and
that's
so obviously you want to have a little extra cash when you're playing, but
it would help. I mean, there should be something. Angel Ayala, thanks for joining in and thanks for the call. He says he agrees. Many players get hurt in college, never even make it to the next level because they could have skipped school, got paid in the NBA, right, by skipping college, made some money for their family, but go to the college and get hurt before they even take that step, which hurts them in their pocket long run. So, yeah, there's a fine line on what the NCAA should do. My thought on it again, the NCAA makes a fortune off of these sports, millions of dollars.
and if you don't have the athletes,
Right, if you don't have the athletes, they're not going to get paid. So, there should be some money. It should probably be equal across the board. Just my thought, if there is going to be money that's going to go across the board, it should be equal. But how do you set it up is probably a big challenge. Eric Oliveras from Lakeland, Florida, thanks for joining us, says the school makes money from these students, they should get something.
listen,
Yeah.
the fact is, when some of these schools are making over $100 million a year off of just sports alone, it's crazy to think that these kids don't get barely anything. I mean, let's not say that a scholarship isn't nothing, because it's obviously super important, but when the kids are only going there for 1 year, what does that 1 year mean?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, like you said, a lot of these guys say like, oh, the guys should get paid, and they probably should be getting paid. Maybe like you said, maybe $1,000, maybe just a couple $100.
Nothing crazy
a month. Maybe just to go get some food, because after a while, eating at school lunch, it kind of stinks sometimes.
Because here's what happens also, right? The school makes a fortune. They can get the students can make marketing dollars already in college. There would be companies that would be willing to pay the students in college to use, right? Nike would be paying college students in college if they could, but they can't, right? The students can't even accept that because
And that was
it's
the big
an
thing
agreement.
with Louisville,
Right.
because they were paying the
Right, they were going around with Adidas, and Adidas was
Adidas.
paying the kids, right? So they figure out ways to pay it. That's the part of the problem, that the students should get something, and there should be some way where the students get paid something, and then avoid all this,
these
going
kids
around the back.
are going to get paid sooner or later, because LeVar Ball is coming, and he's already said he's going to create the league where they're going to pay the top high school players to play after, and just skip college all in general, just make money and then go to the NBA.
I think this is an NBA problem and a college problem. So the NBA does have to step up and do something to work with NCAA, right, to either increase. I believe the best thing for it is to make them go 2 years. So other people say you can't force a kid to go to college. If they're talented enough to go to the NBA, they can go to the NBA. But I believe, and you see it over and over again, when kids get into the NBA early, they're not ready for the NBA. They might have talent enough to eventually make the NBA, but how many LeBrons are there where they're ready to step in the NBA right from high school and make an impact? Mm-hmm. And that's rare. Usually they come in the NBA and it takes 2 or 3 years for those kids even to develop and get comfortable in the NBA. That's why I believe it would make college basketball better, and it would make the NBA better if they force the kids to do more than 1 year in college.
Yeah, I think the NBA needs to say, we've had high school drafts before, and it's worked plenty of times. I'm sure there's a couple high school, and I'm not saying every high school kid is going to make an impact right into the NBA, like LeBron or Kobe,
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett. I'm not saying guys are going to be like that, but if they have the talent, like the one high school player now who's just killing it, Zion Williamson. He could probably play in the NBA right now with his body size.
He wasn't even the number 1 recruit. He's number 2.
Exactly, but you just never know. Those guys could probably impact teams now. But the thing is, there's only 2 rounds in the NBA draft. It's not like there's 7 or 40 like baseball has. Right. If they're not ready for the NBA, that's why they have the G League. Send these guys to the G League, get their feet wet a little bit, so that way they can experience some professional basketball.
That's
and
true.
then when they're ready, they have now professional experience.
Yeah.
Now, if they don't get drafted out of high school, then there should be a rule that they have to attend college for at least 2 years to live up to that scholarship, and even try to get an education. Because one and done, it's pretty much I'm going to try to go to the NBA.
And I think some high schools use it to get the money. As Gabi Garcet from Florida, thanks for joining. He says, look at Kwame Brown. He was a bust. He got millions of dollars, right? James says he agrees with you.
I heard Michael Jordan bullied the crap out of Kwame Brown.
Probably, but James says that he thinks the NBA should ramp the G League because a lot of the players obviously are not ready for the NBA. And I believe the G League will be used more to continue to use that as, a stomping ground to use, to develop
minor
more
leagues.
kids, right? Just like minor leagues in baseball, which is a really good program, I believe, for the NBA. So that's a good point. Marcos, 2 years is good, and one of those years in money management. I totally agree. I think a big problem, and I think a lot of don't get me wrong, but I believe the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, I think a lot of these organizations in pro sports have, people that come into to the players and talk about money management and talk about what to avoid and what to watch out for, so these players don't lose all their money, show them how to invest. So I believe that's happening already. A lot of these pro sports do that. But you're right, Marcos, going to school, taking money management classes, because we've seen a lot of guys that just come in and just throw their money away in a couple of years. They're broke.
I mean, basically they need to just, the one and done rule is stupid, because that's gonna eventually get players who think they're NBA ready and need the money to obviously support their family. It's delaying them a year that they probably could go to the NBA, get signed, make some money. Even if they're a bust, they're making millions of dollars. I think if they're gonna get rid of the one and done rule, the thing is they have to give these players that don't go to college, they need to give them some type of insurance to say, like, if I'm a bust, or if I'm not in the league 5 years, you get to go to college for 4 years to whatever college.
I mean, that's a good incentive too. I think there's a lot that's why I said I believe the NBA
You
needs
get
to
free
get
college. I mean,
Right.
what is that?
I
to
do.
some
It's
players?
true. The NBA needs to get. That's why I say the NBA needs to get involved and work with the NCAA to come up with a plan where it works for both, right? Where it works for the NBA. They're not coming into the NBA too early and getting millions and millions of dollars, because the NBA right now is probably one of the highest paid sports. I think it's the highest paid per player in terms of some of these contracts they're giving out. And again, sometimes these kids haven't even earned it yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's different when you got KD and LeBron making millions. They're proven. They're doing it over and over again. They deserve it. But when you got someone coming out of college making multi millions, and then they're not even proven yet, it's kind of dangerous game to be giving these kids that much money at that time. So again, Players Union, NBA, and the NCAA, I think, need to get together and make something happen. So on to another subject.
Yeah, we can move right into the NBA. Obviously, All-Star break just ended, and we're getting a shape of how the playoffs are looking heading into March. So basically, our question is, can the Rockets finish number one in the West over the Golden State Warriors?
Yeah, first question. You got that, guys? So, if you guys have any questions that you guys want us to answer, put it on there. We'll be happy to do it. But this is going to be interactive. Again, that's why we're throwing it out there. One question we asked each other is, will the Rockets, who are in first place now, I believe, in the West, will they be the team to dethrone the Golden State Warriors in the West? Do they have what it takes to continue this in the second half? And more importantly, do they have what it takes to beat them in a 7-game series in the playoffs? Angel, go ahead. You start. What do you think?
I've been high on the Rockets all year. Obviously, they're number one. James Harden's been playing great. CP3 has been playing great for them ever since he came to Houston. He's been playing. But the only reason I'm going to say that they won't finish first in the West for the regular season is because how easy the rest of the schedule is for the Warriors. I'm pretty sure they only have 3 tough games that they really have, and one's against the Celtics, I'm pretty sure again, and 2 are against the San Antonio Spurs. They don't play the Rockets again.
So they're done.
I think they play OKC one more time, and that's towards the end of the season.
Yep.
And they have such an easy schedule. They play the Mavericks twice. They play the Pacers twice. They play all these easy
The Pacers are nothing.
So the Golden State, you're saying basically their toughest schedule is already passed them in the first half.
Their
So
first half.
it's not as hard. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Rockets. Am I right in the first half? So they don't even play them again, huh?
No, I
In the
think
second half, and they just beat Oklahoma, beat them up pretty bad yesterday by about 30 at
I
home.
mean, that was the first time they beat them, though.
Yeah.
But the Rockets are hot right now. They have won 11, 12 games in a row.
11 games.
And So I will give them the edge right now. That I mean, they're hot, so they're going to keep winning games. But they run into San Antonio twice. They play the Celtics. They play the Raptors, who are first in the Eastern Conference, one more time. So they have some pretty tough games coming up.
What do you think, Joe?
It's crazy because, I mean, is James Harden and CP3, can they keep it up? I mean, I feel like Harden can. I feel like CP3 can. They've done this so many times. It's just, once you get into the playoffs, it's a different story for the both of them. Because, I mean, neither of them have ever won.
Or played together.
They've never won anything.
Right.
They've never been to a Western Conference Finals. Obviously, Harden went to a Finals, but that was with the OKC. And he doesn't obviously have those same tools, but I just don't think they can beat them, the Warriors, in the playoffs.
You think they can keep it up in the second half to keep Golden State behind
Oh
them?
yeah. I think they can finish first. They're crazy good right now.
They are, and you know what I like about the Rockets is it's just not CP3 and Harden. I think their entire team, their bench has been playing great. They play really well together. The 3 games against Golden State, they proved that they can play against Golden State. They just have a really good team. They're playing really well. They're probably behind Golden State. It's going to be Golden State right now and Houston, the best 2 teams in the league right now. James says the Rockets have the offensive firepower, but I don't know if defense consistency beats them 4 times in 7 games against the Warriors. Marco says Warriors could choose to rest their stars, and that's true. The Golden State team is so good that their bench could be starters anywhere, and that's the key for Golden State is when they bring in their bench players, they don't skip a beat. I was watching them yesterday against Oklahoma, and man, they're in a rhythm, and they bring bench players in, and their bench players are playing just as good.
The Warriors' biggest factor is Steph Curry. I mean, Kevin Durant can be an MVP contender all day long, but he still isn't going to push the Warriors over the edge. You saw that with OKC. I feel like if Steph Curry is healthy and Steph Curry is balling out like he has been, then the Warriors are going to be unbeatable when it comes to playoff time.
Yeah,
Because they have so many weapons that, how do the Rockets compare?
right.
I mean, I like the Rockets obviously have the advantage in the center position with Capella over any of the centers that the Warriors have. Garbage, Pachulia, who wants to hurt everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just you look at it. You see Steph Curry's obviously better than CP3, and if he's hot, he's not missing a shot.
Game changer.
So I mean, it depends on the game because Steph Curry could either go 0 for 14 or he can go 14 for 14.
I agree.
We've seen it so many times this year. So.
Yeah. So I think we're all on the same page that Houston has a good enough team to compete. They're going to make it hard. They're going to compete against Golden State. But as James from New Jersey says, in a game 7, I don't see Houston beating them 4 times. Even if they have home court.
I think the Rockets
are.
I think the statistic is either 40-3 or 30-3 when CP3 and Harden play in the same game.
Yeah. No. Listen, they have shown they play together and they're a tough duel. They are a tough duel, and they're having great years. Harden right now would probably be the MVP of the league right now, the way they're playing. So, again, we're talking NBA right now. The question was, do you think Houston can keep this going and to finish the second half in front of Golden State? They're right now in front of Golden State, and can they beat Golden State in a 7-game series? So
now let's talk about the new look Cavs. Obviously, they started off pretty well, but now after the All-Star break, they're 1-2.
And they lost 2 at home. So, yeah, I really do believe that the trade that the Cavs made has been spectacular. I still think it's a great trade. I still think they're the team to beat in the East. Toronto is probably that team that's going to give them a tough run, but I still think with LeBron, they'll be fine. They'll get to the finals eventually. But yesterday's game, we were watching, not yesterday's game, when the Cavs lost to the Wizards, the first game after the All-Star break, as I was watching it, when it came down in the final quarter and nobody was hitting shots, so LeBron was the only one scoring, it made it tough because they were doubling LeBron and nobody else was able to step up, and the Wizards played really well and beat them at home. Obviously today San Antonio went to Cleveland without Kawhi Leonard and beat them. So again,
That was the second time the Spurs beat the
Yeah,
this year,
yeah,
without Kawhi. So
and that was a 15-point defeat at home. You know, that says something about, you know, the Cavs. You know, because they came out just on fire with this new team. Obviously killing Boston, then going to Oklahoma, beating Oklahoma. That was 2 big wins, and they looked like they had just turned it around. The All-Star break might have been negative for them, right? You didn't want them to come. The All-Star break came at a bad time for them, but they'll turn it around. I believe they're still the team to beat in the East.
Do you think they are finals contenders? Do you think they can compete with the Harden or Steph Curry and the Warriors?
I think that Cleveland would play better against Houston. I think if they play Golden State, I think it's only going to be LeBron. They don't have a Kyrie Irving, right? They just don't have that other player who can score and make enough plays to help LeBron. And that's what concerns me about if they play either Houston or Golden State. Those guys are going to double team LeBron, and they're going to force everybody else to step up and make shots. And if those guys don't make shots, Cleveland's not going to win. And that was the difference when they had Kyrie, because Kyrie could make plays on his own and score 25, 30 points. And that was a huge, huge lift for Cleveland. They don't have anybody like that, and that concerns me. I don't know what you guys think, but that's what I see right now is it's just LeBron right now. The other guys can score, obviously, as they get open, and they'll hit shots, and they'll go on runs. But when it's crunch time, this playoff time, does anybody on that team scare you to score 20 points, 25 points consistently to help LeBron?
I mean, no.
I mean, let's not forget. I know he hasn't been playing for a while, but Kevin Love hasn't been playing with the Cavs.
That's the only other
with
one.
With this new squad that they have here.
That's
so
true.
Kevin Love
He
has
could be
been
that
averaging
player.
20 points and 10 rebounds this whole season. He was an All-Star. He was selected for the All-Star game, obviously, until he broke his hand. So he's been out. But once he comes back, he's going to make a huge factor for this Cleveland team. Because right now you just look at this team and you're like, I was watching the starting lineup today and I was like, it's not that great. If you take out LeBron, they're terrible.
They're garbage.
Right.
They're probably terrible. So, and we talked about LeBron. LeBron plays 38 minutes a game, like 48 minutes in a whole game. So he's sitting for 10 minutes, and he's pretty much got to do everything. We saw it in today's game. He came out hot, scoring right away, passing the ball. He was getting assists. He was getting rebounds, and he's just been the key guy for this team, obviously all year. And
Yeah.
but once he got into the second half today, you just saw the fatigue. Like, he couldn't keep up with the young guys from San Antonio. They were kind of just blowing by him. He wasn't doing help defense. So LeBron, I feel like when Kevin Love gets back, he needs to rest more. And once he rests more, I think that'll give him some more energy once the playoff time comes.
And to that point, this will be the first time in LeBron's career he is on pace to play 82 games. He hasn't sat out a game yet. It's the first time in his career.
It's amazing because Jordan played 82 games all the time. Just saying. But I'm going to leave that.
Maybe that's why he ran out of gas after 6 years.
It's true. That's why he put
Maybe
it
that's
all
why he
on
went
the
to
line.
baseball.
But James says the New York Cavs are playing great defense and outside of the ball and are blowing multiple assignments. Ty Lue has to tighten that up. So that's true. What's up, Barry? Marco says, when does K-Love come back? K-Love comes back in about, I want to say 3 to 4 weeks he's out. So he has about 3 to 4 weeks. And, you know, when he comes back, he's going to make a big difference. So hopefully he has enough time to blend with this team before they hit the playoffs. He will make a huge factor. But I'm just saying, it's true that it's amazing. I didn't realize that LeBron, this will be his first year where he's on pace to play all 82 games. Think about it, guys. Most of you guys on there, you know, that are Michael Jordan, you know, we watch Michael Jordan play every game. He ain't sit out. He ain't take a break. This didn't make sense.
Welcome back to the Michael Jordan show.
Again, you know, this is why
welcome back.
Michael Jordan is better. I'm just saying, just a side note, you know. Right?
Welcome
Aaron,
back,
you know what I'm
people.
talking about.
Welcome back
All right.
to the Michael Jordan
So-
show. People, it's been missed. You know, it's been a week.
Michael Jordan's the best player of all time. These guys think LeBron is. I'm sorry, I just don't see it.
Hey,
So-
LeBron did tie Michael Jordan in All-Star Game MVPs. So he's reaching the top.
Listen, LeBron just keeps passing Jordan all kinds of stats, but he just can't pass him in NBA Finals wins without losses. So, you know, what matters. You know, of
Ask
course.
this question, right?
But
I want people to answer this question.
Yeah,
Will LeBron? I'll ask a question.
Go ahead.
Will LeBron make it to his 9th straight NBA Finals appearance?
That's the
Yes
question,
or
boys.
no? And
Will
here's my answer.
LeBron,
Go ahead.
here we go. I'll ask you to give so everybody can hear and everybody can, tune in and chime in. Will LeBron make it to his 9th finals in a row? So the question and the answer for me is yes. I said it early on in the year before the trade happened. Even when they were losing, I felt the East is just terrible. It's always terrible when LeBron played. LeBron and the Cleveland Cavs right now would be like the 5th best team in the West. So that just shows you what the East is. It's a constant thing every year. So, I made it to 9 straight finals, like the Buffalo Bills made it to 4 straight Super Bowls, but it doesn't matter if you don't win. If you don't win, it just doesn't matter. So James says it's the 8th, so you might want to check that. Is it his 8th in a row that's coming up, or 9th? Yeah, James, I think they're giving him too much credit. So Harry throwing in a little comment there. Sixers haven't lost since the Eagles won the Super Bowl. They're 7-0. I know we talked about that before that. I told him you throw me that little hit there. Barry Wilson just talked Sixers, Irving, Celtics. I know. We those were the days, my man. So, but again, do you guys think LeBron will make it to the finals again, or do you think they will get tripped up by Toronto or Boston?
Listen, Toronto has the best home record in the whole entire East. They have the best point differential. They're obviously first in the East right now. They're from
Playing
points
well.
per game to points given up a game. They're 3rd in the league behind the Rockets and the Warriors.
They're playing well as a team.
And the point differential for the Cavs, 0.2. It's the lowest among winning teams. They have the lowest.
That's a good stat. But that
0.2 points.
Cleveland.
Yes.
And that goes with all the, I think when
The
you
bad defense
when
they
you
have.
average everything out, a lot of the 25, 30 point losses from
That
early
means
on,
when they
doesn't help.
win, they win by very little.
They're just pulling games out, and but again, they got LeBron. He's the greatest player of this era, and he can carry a team by himself. We've seen that. So until somebody beats them, I just find it hard to believe. I do think Toronto will give them a good go, and I believe even the Wizards can give them a go. Obviously, Wizards beat them the other day, and I think they can. If they play well, they can obviously
not come playoff time.
And that's the problem, playoff time. So let's see. James' 9th trip to the finals, 8th straight. Okay, that's what it is. 9th overall,
Yeah, okay.
8th straight. Marcos West, Houston, San Antonio, Cavs, Wizards, the sleeper. Okay? So, again, we're talking NBA right now. Anybody else have any questions?
People will be asleep all
Let us
day
know.
on these teams because they're not good enough.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So thanks for joining us. Do us a favor. Hit the share button on your computer there or on your phones. Share this, whatever you want, as we continue this podcast, Family Chats, we call it here, with my son and my nephew. And where sports brings the family together is our saying here. So thanks for joining us. We consider you guys family. We appreciate the love and the support of you guys joining us. Hope it's fun for all of you guys as it is for us. So continuing on,
who
the
do,
NBA?
who do we have for sleepers going into the playoffs? NBA sleepers going into the playoffs.
Wizards would be my one sleeper in the East,
Garbage.
right? I mean,
Okay, they're garbage.
you could say garbage. I think if they're healthy, I think they can compete with anybody.
I don't know. Maybe
If they're
hurt,
healthy.
maybe they're hurt. They play better when John Wall's hurt.
Yeah, well, John Wall's hurt right now, and you're right. They're playing really, really well without John Wall. That's what I'm saying. If they get John Wall on the team, they can compete with anybody at their best. At their best. Obviously, they haven't showed that with John Wall, but I believe they can compete. They have enough talent to compete.
My sleeper team in the East would be the Sixers, because I think they just have this team has been put together for so many years now, and this is the first time that we're seeing them on the court at once. Like we said before, Embiid was drafted like 3 years ago, and now this is like his first full season.
And Simmons was drafted a year ago.
Simmons was
didn't
drafted
play
a year
last
ago, didn't really play, and they haven't even had their top pick this year, Fultz, play at all. Really, he's played like 2 games. So I think they're the team to sleep on. But the only problem with that is if the standings stayed the same right now,
They would have
they
to play
Cleveland.
They would have
Sixers
to
play Cleveland.
They would have
They
to
play
play
Cleveland
the
first
Cavaliers.
round.
James from New Jersey agrees with you. He thinks Philly too. But as we just stated, if the standings stay the same, Philly would play Cleveland to start the first round.
Listen, my sleeper right now in the East
Who you like?
is the Raptors. There's
Sleeper?
nobody believes in the
They're first
Raptors.
place.
Nobody is talking about the
They have
Raptors.
never proven to beat anybody in there, but
You
they
can't-
can't even beat Cleveland.
But now they're in first place.
You can't
and they're
call
playing
them a
like
sleeper.
they wouldn't
They got the best record in the East.
How many times have we talked about them? Seriously.
That's true. We haven't talked about them much.
We haven't.
We haven't.
They've
We haven't
been in
given
first
them
place
credit.
for 2 weeks now.
Yeah,
and we
and they've been
still
playing
haven't
really
been talking
well.
about them.
They wouldn't even beat the Celtics.
Oh, I'm pretty confident they could beat the Celtics. I mean, they're just playing on another level this year.
Would
Is
Celtics
what
be a
we've never
sleeper
seen.
team for
No.
you guys?
No, because we talk about them too
Yeah.
much.
All right.
They got Kyrie Irving.
They've been in first place most of the season.
So Barry wants to talk Red Sox. We'll be talking about MLB soon, Barry. So stay tuned. That's coming next. But yeah, ultimately, who would be the sleeper teams in the West? I mean, because you have Golden State, Houston. Who's in third in the West?
I
Is
have
it
San Antonio.
Antonio.
My sleeper team in the West is the Trailblazers.
Garbage.
I like
They
I
are
love
garbage.
the
They're not winning
team.
right now.
I like Damian Lillard. I think he's top 3-point guard in the league.
That's true.
I like what's the second guy? What's the guy's name? CJ
And
McCollum.
Why are you
McCollum,
thinking
yeah,
that?
I like McCollum.
I want to throw it out to everybody who's just joining us. Thanks for joining us. We're talking sports here. We're talking NBA right now. Family chats. The question is, who's the sleeper teams in the NBA in the East and the West to make the finals? Throw your comments on here. Who do you think? We'll be talking MLB in a few minutes, but thanks for joining us. Hit that share button as we have a good time here talking sports.
I mean, obviously,
you
I like the
think Portland,
Blazers, and I
Trailblazers,
like, and I
okay.
also like OKC, who's in eighth place right now.
Are they in eighth place?
Eighth place right now, but they have like a 3-game lead before the next. team.
Yeah, I don't consider them a sleeper because if they're in eighth place to start, or even seventh place, and they have to play Houston or Golden State, even though they will make it tough for
I
those
love
teams.
those series.
I would love to see that as a second round game. I'd hate to see Oklahoma play one of those teams in the first round because ultimately I believe that should be a second round game, and it would be, obviously with that team and those three superstars, they can make it tough for anyone when they're playing well. So first rounder, they're not going to win, against Golden State or Houston.
I mean, the West is so good. You can have 4 or 5 sleepers that you think could
Yeah.
win a playoff series.
I would have had 3, but I don't know. I would have said the Timberwolves because they are in 4th place in the West, and this
That's a good sleeper.
Timberwolves haven't made the playoffs since 2004,
And they got some good young
and
talent.
they have really good young talent. Carl Anthony Towns has the. I don't know if you guys knew this. He has the most double-doubles
doubles.
in the league since
Since
2015 or 16.
Since he's been in the league,
Since he's been in the
probably,
league.
right? Yeah.
So that's
He's
that's
impressive.
impressive.
He's from New Jersey too, folks. Just
But-
saying.
Jimmy Butler ended up tearing his meniscus for people who didn't know that, so he's going to be out for
That's-
a
that-
while.
that
Maybe
hurts.
not until the playoffs. So that kind of hurts them. I would have said them, but
Yeah, without
I agree with
Butler, it's gonna
Giovanni.
be
I think the Thunder, if you really think about it, they're in 8th place with the MVP Westbrook, Paul George, and Carmelo Anthony, who is not the same Carmelo Anthony we
Yeah.
know as, but they have beat the Warriors before this season. So, and Westbrook, I think, has a chip on his shoulder every time he plays Kevin Durant, and he wants to show Kevin Durant that he doesn't need him to win, and obviously he showed that he didn't need him to be the best player in the league. So, I think
And don't sleep on the Nuggets. They have one of the best home records in the league.
I think it's San Antonio's also a sleeper team. If
I
they
was
have
gonna say San
Kawhi
Antonio.
Leonard, if he's healthy, I think they
He's
can,
not coming
they
back.
can make a run. That's the tough thing. I don't know if he's coming back.
Popovich said that he probably
doesn't think
won't
he's coming
play for
back?
the rest of the year.
And honestly, if you look at this Spurs team, this is not even the best Spurs team we've seen the last 20 years, probably. Like, this is probably one of the weakest Spurs
Probably
teams
one
we've
of the
seen.
weakest. In
ever.
Yeah, it's
It's
true.
in 3rd place.
And for them to be in 3rd place is pretty impressive. Harry's rooting against LeBron because if he doesn't go to the finals, he believes he'll go to Philly.
Possibility. I
Wouldn't
like
be
them
bad.
better than.
It's a
bad.
possibility. He's
Philly's
probably got a
good.
better chance to win championships than that Philly team.
If LeBron went to Philly, Philly
They
would
would
be the
win.
best team
They would
every
win
year.
the championship.
They'd be
Yeah.
the best team every year.
No
There
doubt.
you go. That's that. Keep hoping, Harry. You never know. Things are happening in Philly. I don't know what's going on with the water and everything over there, but Philly just is on fire right now. So, Bill Cobbs from New Jersey says, "What do you guys think about the NBA teams tanking?" Good question. My finals teams are Golden State and the Celtics. So he actually thinks the Celtics are going to beat the Cavs in the East or Toronto. But that's a great question. What do you think about like the Dallas Mavericks coming out and saying that they're actually tanking? You know, it's something to actually tank without no one saying it, but for the owner to come out and say it.
I don't think the NBA likes it, considering I think they're changing the rules with the lottery. It makes it harder to get that number one pick. I think tanking now, if you're tanking and you're trying to get the worst record,
Right.
I think the first 3 teams have the same odds to get that first pick.
Right, so you're not guaranteed
You're not guaranteed the best chance of getting that.
Right.
But, I mean, that's still not going to be enough to stop these teams from...
It sounds so bad because, like a couple years ago, Mavericks were really good. They won an NBA championship, beat Miami Heat.
Yeah.
And they beat LeBron in the Miami Heat. So I think it sounds bad that Mark Cuban wants to, do that. And, you know what I mean? Like, it makes you think, like, why do you want to do that? But I think
It's just we've seen it before.
One big thing is that Dirk Nowitzki he's on his way out.
Yeah.
And he knows that they can't win with him right now, the way he's playing. He's aged. And they have good young talent. Like I said, the point guard, Dennis Smith Jr. is really good. He was a late round pick this past year. Harrison Barnes, they signed a couple years ago.
It's just stuff that doesn't work.
And it would have been better if they would have got DeAndre Jordan. Remember DeAndre Jordan said he was going to sign there, and then he ended up backing out?
Yeah.
So that's a good question.
When the Clippers locked him in the house.
Bill, and it's something, great question. It's something that Major League Baseball is going through right now, right? Where you got, these teams that are actually getting rid of high-paid players and just saying they're going to start fresh. Almost like the Astros and Kansas City did it.
We've seen it so many times.
And the Major League Baseball is happening a lot. And that's why there's a lot of free agents happening, that are still out there while spring training is going on. It's weird what's happening in Major League Baseball. So for the NBA to have a team come out and say that they're doing it, I don't know if it's good for the sport. I don't think it's good for their team because you want, at least them to compete, right? You want the thought of a team coming out and playing and not giving it their all is kind of embarrassing for the league. And I think that's what it is. It's different to come out and say it, but to, hide it and know it, right? It's different. So people, anything in sports, you go out, you compete, you do your best. If you lose, you lose. But I've never heard of teams coming out actually saying, we're tanking. We're actually going out to lose. And it's embarrassing for the league, personally. I just think the integrity of the league is hurt.
The thing is, you've seen teams do it in all sports, and you see it work. That's where these teams, they're getting smarter to where, okay, we're not going to win. We're not going to make the playoffs. So why do you want to be in the middle of the pack? It makes no sense.
Right, but it's different.
It's different. The benefits
that
come with being the bottom or the top.
Right.
So why would you want to be
put your players
in the 10th or 11th spot? It makes no sense.
But to have your players go out there and tell them, we don't believe in you, why even play? Why even play? The whole point of sports is to go out, compete, give it your all. If you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. You're hurting the integrity of the game by saying that.
The thing is, they're getting rid of the players that probably would be playing the best, and they're putting these players in who probably aren't good, who are playing their hardest, but they're not going to put up the numbers.
Let them at least play their hardest. Don't say you're tanking. Put them out there. Let them play. If you lose, you lose, and you win, you win. But when you say you're tanking, you're really saying to everybody and your team, 1, I don't believe in you, and 2, we're purposely tanking, so don't play your hardest. Don't play your best. And then you're telling your fans, stay home, because we ain't coming out here to win. It's an embarrassment. So, good question, Bill. Let's see. Harry says the bottom 3 teams all have 14% chance at the number 1 pick. Only have to be the 3rd worst and not make it as obvious as you're tanking. So it's true. You don't, if they're going to be at the bottom 3, why say you're going to tank if you already know your team is probably one of the worst 3 teams anyways?
I mean, we've seen it with the Cubs, the Astros, the Sixers. We've seen it with all these teams who have been to the bottom. They've said it. We're not going for this year. And you see them rise up and play really well in a couple of years.
Yeah.
I think it's a smart thing to do. And I just think it's the way the league works. So you're going to have a couple teams who just know they're not going to be contenders, and they're just going to...
But again, that's why I think the parity in this league is hurting, right? You look at Golden State and Cleveland. They've been to the finals the last 3 times. They'll probably be maybe in the finals for the 4th time. the parity that hurts the league. It just does. It gets boring now that it's almost like the regular season doesn't matter. And again, it started when LeBron went to Miami, and then you got KD going to Golden State, and now you have all these superstars trying to play with other superstars. So you got 5 or 6 teams that feel they got a shot, and the rest of them are like, well, we're going to try to get that guy on our team. We're going to try to get 2 superstars. Look at the Lakers. They're talking about going after players already. Philly needs one more player. You talk about teams already going after other superstars, making trades to actually have room to go out and get these superstars. So it's happening, but it's not good for the league. I just don't think it's good for the league.
And just think, you have teams like the Mavericks. You have teams like Milwaukee. You have these teams that don't have the best market, and you think that maybe this guy isn't going to come back. So why would we let him walk in free agency and get no benefit towards it?
Trade him. Right.
Until we are put in a position where we have a lot of young talent controlled, and we can eventually make a run. And
as Harry says, it's never guaranteed. If you look at the Browns, they've been losing for a long time with a
well,
lot of first-round picks.
It also comes down to the personnel.
Personnel. Who are you drafting, right?
When you're drafting Johnny
you
Manziel.
look at the 76ers, and the 76ers have not had any luck over the years. They've had first-round picks year after year after year after year. You go, when is it going to work? It's finally starting to click for them.
I think the Sixers had the best idea because they picked the best player. They didn't just pick a position that they needed. They picked the best player available at the time that they had the spot.
Right.
They weren't saying, "Oh, we already have a center. We're not going to pick a center."
Yeah.
They went and they picked up three
players.
centers in a row with Okafor, Embiid, and the other guy.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the Sixers didn't try to select the best player and then intentionally have them getting hurt, so that way they could just keep getting the next best picks.
But it's like you said, it's just not guaranteed. That's why the integrity of the league gets hurt, I believe, when you say that you're actually going to tank and not go out and give it your best effort. Just say you're not good enough. You know what I mean? You lose, but don't let your players know that you don't believe in them. Don't tell your fans that. The fans aren't going to show up. So, you still got to go out there and put a performance out there for the fans and not tell them, no, we're out here to lose. So.
Now let's ask this question real fast.
Question for everybody on.
Who is the NBA MVP right now? If we were to end the season right now, who would you guys want to take to hold up the trophy of MVP?
Yeah, Rafael, saludos. I see you, bud. From New Jersey. Rafael saying, what's up? But hey, question for everybody right now in the NBA, who would be your MVP in the league? You have Harden, you have LeBron, you have
Antetokounmpo.
Who?
Antetokounmpo.
Y'all heard that. I can't repeat that.
Curry
would be, Durant would be,
Westbrook.
Westbrook, the Greek, right? There's that.
Jimmy Butler, DeMar DeRozan.
James Harden, that's the favorite right now. James and Bill Cobb says James Harden. I also believe James Harden right now is the MVP. They got the best record in the league. They're in front of the Golden State. They beat Golden State 2 out of 3. He's got my lead too, so I agree with you guys on there. You guys, what do you think? You not believe Harden right now is the MVP? That'd be foolish.
LeBron James.
That's ridiculous. How do you say LeBron is the MVP when he couldn't even win with the guys? He forced his management to trade everybody, not because he could carry that team and be the NBA best player. He actually asked for help. Help me! I need help!
I'll tell you
I can't win. Get out of here, man.
You make all this noise.
You're right, Harry.
You make all this noise, but you act like James Harden doesn't have CP3. You make all this noise, but you act like Steph Curry don't got Kevin Durant, don't got Klay Thompson.
What's the
LeBron
record?
James right now is the superstar with the weakest team, probably.
Yeah, he's the greatest player right now. But this year, he's not the best player this year. Durant's having a better year than him. No.
Why?
Durant would be it would be Harden and Durant in front of that.
So Durant is having a better year because he's averaging 1 more point per game?
Durant is having a better year than James. Because you know what? Because it's all about wins.
That's
When
what
does it
is.
become all
It's
about stats?
It's all about
He
wins.
is over there building his stats. You guys said, oh, he almost got a triple-double. He got a triple-double. Well, he has the ball. He's going to do everything. He's the only guy on the team to do anything. But if you can't make your team better and win, then there's a problem. Being the MVP doesn't mean I just win. It means I'm carrying my team. When they need me, they can count on me. I'm actually making players around me better. And he didn't do that with the team until the trade.
Tell me who.
No, he didn't.
So tell me who on the Cavs is making a bigger impact than him?
Nobody. He's the best player on the Cavs.
So nobody on the team.
He is the best
Alright.
player on the. Let's get one thing straight. He's the best player on the Cavs. He's the best player in this era. He is not the best player this year. He is not the MVP. He is not
Some
the
people
MVP.
disagree with you.
Well,
Alright.
everybody here obviously is saying they believe in Harden as the MVP too. I'm just
He has 30
ashamed of you guys saying that LeBron is the best player right now and MVP. Come on.
He's almost averaging
Alright.
a triple-double. He's having one of the best years of his career.
LeBron
And you're
is
going to say that he's not
Carl
MVP
from New
caliber?
Jersey says most valuable points, not player.
no.
It's true. He's getting all these
Listen.
stats. Listen, he's the greatest player, but he's not the MVP of the league this year. Come on, he's third in the East. You got the Celtics and you have Toronto in front of him, and you're saying that LeBron is the MVP? He can't even pull the Cavs in front of those two teams.
So the only way you can win MVP is you have the best record? That makes no sense.
It absolutely has to do with your
Makes
record.
no sense. You put
Your
LeBron.
record.
You put LeBron on the Sixers, they have the best record. You put LeBron on the Celtics, they have the best record. You put LeBron in Toronto, they have the best record. You put LeBron in Golden State, and they never lose a game. You put LeBron anywhere in the league, he's going to put that team, the best team in the
Gabi
league.
from Florida says he has Kevin Love. He's had Kevin Love.
Kevin Love is garbage. 20 points per game. He's
20
just
points per game, but
he's
he's garbage now, right? But when he comes back, he's going to help LeBron be the second
He's
player to
not-
score.
he's
Right
not a-
now,
he's
LeBron
not a
can't
Chris
carry
Paul.
the team. Listen, let's just call it what it is. LeBron needed a whole new wardrobe on his team to at least get this team back on track. He couldn't do it. He didn't believe in his team. He didn't believe in his coach. He threw everybody under the bus, and he should have carried the team. Because he can carry the team.
He has been. It's the fact when he gets in
Okay.
the fourth quarter, no one else can score but him, and you're still going to say that he's not carrying the team. It's garbage what you're saying. It's coming out of
You
your
can't,
mouth.
Alright, here we
you
go.
can't carry the team if you're losing.
All
You're
right.
carrying them.
He cannot make his other players
He's carrying
score
them
the
to
ball.
an L.
He
He's carrying
cannot.
them to. I don't get that. Come
He
on.
cannot.
All right, here we go.
Let
No.
Angel say. Let
Go
Angel
ahead.
All
say.
right, that was a good father and son topic right there. All right, you had a nice conversation there, but let the nephew and cousin speak there. All right. All right.
Let's
Here we go. The only reason that I wouldn't say that the MVP goes to the best team because it has the top record, because if we look at it last year, Westbrook won the MVP, even though he averaged triple double, so that's a little different. But his team finished in sixth place.
It's crazy, huh?
So it doesn't always go to the player that, obviously a first place team, because then
Right.
you never know. Isaiah Thomas could have been MVP because the Celtics finished first last year. But
Harden's stats are pretty darn good. I mean,
Yes.
he's not just obviously got the team in first place. His stats are.
for me,
LeBron's
I
stats
would-
are better.
For me, right now, I would say James Harden, because he leads the
Thank
league.
you.
He leads the league in scoring. He's averaging 31.3 a game. He's almost getting 5 3-pointers made a game. He gets to the free throw line better than anybody. He's averaging 9 assists, almost 2 steals a game, and his team is in first place in the West. So, but I'm not going to say that he's miles away from LeBron. Like, LeBron's so far back from getting the MVP, because LeBron's almost averaging a triple-double this season too. He's averaging 27 points a game with almost 9 assists and almost 9 rebounds, 2 steals and a block a game. So he's been doing well this year to be in that conversation, to win the MVP. So for me right now, it'd be Harden, and then if LeBron's team could start winning, he could be in this MVP.
He's definitely in the conversation. James actually likes your points,
Listen,
Joe, on LeBron and
If
not
you
having
could
the
have,
players.
if you could have one person on your team right now, if you're starting a team from the bottom,
Am I looking? And I'm looking for the
who
next
are you-
few years.
No, you're looking for this year.
Like
Who are
right
you-
now, just this year. Then
Just
obviously
like-
LeBron. I just said he's the greatest player. He's
Thank
the
you.
best player in the league.
Thank you.
He's the greatest of this era.
Thank you.
But he's not the MVP this year.
He's the
Most
MVP.
valuable player has a lot to do with carrying your team, winning, and being the best. It doesn't just have to do with just being the best and I can be the best.
He's the
and I
best
get a
player.
triple
I
double.
mean, when it gets down to the fourth quarter, and
Man,
no
he
one else
doesn't
is
even
scoring
enter the
than him.
slam dunk contest. He's nowhere near Michael Jordan.
He's not
Come
worried
on.
about the
Gabi
slam
says
dunk
ain't
contest.
nobody worried about
Gabi
the
says
slam
he's
dunk
no
contest.
MJ. Rafael, LeBron is no Jordan. I get it, but guys, it's just the way it is.
Thank you for tuning in to
Harry
the
from
Michael
New
Jordan
Jersey
Show.
says LeBron is third in the lesser of the two conferences. Where would his team be if he were in the West playing the West teams? I totally agree with that.
Well, he'd
If
be
he was
the
in the
same-
West,
he'd be the
if he was
same
in the
player.
he's like
Be the
sixth
s-
place.
He'd be the
He
same
might be
player.
behind Oklahoma.
He'd be the
If he was
same
if
player.
he was on any of those Western teams,
They would be
so much better because they're good right now. So if they got the best player in the world, they'd be even better. If
No, basically
You're
saying
crazy.
he's saying where would LeBron be with the Cavs
Top.
if the Cavs
If the
were in
Cavs
the
were in
West,
the
not
West.
not if LeBron was on a West team.
Oh, if the Cavs were in
He's
the West,
saying
they'd
if
probably
the
be
Cavs were in the West, they
ranked
might
top
be
five.
out of the playoff hunt because Oklahoma is in 8th place
Out of the-
and they've gone to
35,
Cleveland
24.
and whooped on them. Who knows? So Brian B. Cook from Jersey thinks everyone on the Cavs have to be consistent, and that's going to be their challenge. Is can they stay consistent? Because after the All-Star break, they have lost 2 games at home to the Wizards and they lost today to San Antonio.
So LeBron,
And-
hold on, let me ask you
no,
this
wait.
question.
I'm going to say why they're losing. They're losing. It's not because of LeBron. It's because the other cast aren't playing as good, and teams are starting to figure that out.
Perfect.
So what they're
Perfect.
doing. So here's
Set
what
me
they're
up.
doing.
No, you're perfectly
No,
set me
because
up.
here's what they're doing. The other teams are starting to figure out we're going to let LeBron get his, and we're just going to force the other guys to step up
So
and
let me
play
ask you
better.
this.
And they're not playing good.
You set me up perfectly. So we're going to hurt LeBron's credentials because of the players on his team. That's what we're going to do. Because the team is losing as a whole. They're not winning every game. They're not winning every game like the Warriors or the Rockets. Because the whole team is not playing at the
Listen to
level
me.
LeBron
Watch
is
the
playing.
games. When it comes down to the fourth quarter, LeBron isn't even playing his best. All right. So
If I played
listen.
35 minutes
When you
going into
watch,
the fourth quarter, I
listen.
wouldn't either.
Then sit the bench for a little while if you're tired. MJ played every game. All right, we're gonna talk about that again. Stop
Listen.
making excuses about being tired. Michael Jordan played every game. He played all the minutes. He didn't sit the
We
bench. If
know.
LeBron needs a break, let him sit
We
down.
know you wanna kiss
the problem
Michael
is
Jordan's butt.
the problem is with the LeBron, right? As everybody knows, the problem with LeBron is he gets his points and he does everything in the first 3 quarters. The fourth quarter comes and he's having trouble carrying the team because I was watching the games and the games were
Because
close
why?
first half.
Because why?
Because LeBron isn't stepping up in the fourth quarter.
Because why? Because the team stinks.
See that?
Why?
Gabi says nobody wants to play LeBron, which is true. We still think he's going to go to the finals.
I wish Michael Jordan was here right now. She can kiss his butt right. Family chats.
These guys hate when I bring up Michael
You would
Jordan. as the
rub
best.
his head like a genie bottle. Just
We
like,
listen. Ultimately, most everybody on here can tell
oh
you.
my God.
Everybody on Michael Jordan or LeBron.
Different
let us
eras.
know. What do you say?
It's different eras, bro.
LeBron would be
eras.
LeBron would be great in Michael's era, and Michael would still be great in this era. So the eras don't mean anything.
It's
I think they
different
both would be
eras.
great.
It's different eras. He played 20 years ago. I think it's time for you to move on.
All right.
Michael Jordan is not playing anymore.
LeBron,
Don't
I
care.
told you already. LeBron is the best player in this era. What more do you want? He's the best behind Jordan. Just because he's not as good as Jordan is not a knock on him. Just saying. So
LeBron's career is not over yet. So
all right. So let's move on to. Thank you for your support. We appreciate it. Week to week, just jumping on. Being part of the family. This is where we have fun. James, have a great week. God bless you all out there. Have a fantastic week.
Obviously, guys, follow us on Instagram. That's our biggest form of social media.
Yeah.
Like us on Facebook if you want. Follow us on Twitter if you want. Go on YouTube. Subscribe to us.
Yeah, we have a YouTube channel, so go there, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And if you want to show your friends and family what we're all about, you just send them that link on YouTube.
Link it to them. We have Facebook. We have family chats on Facebook. We have Instagram where we put a lot of weekly stuff on Instagram. We have a lot more fun with the Instagram family chats, social media page. So check it all out. Bill, James, thanks for being a part of the show and tuning in this week. We'll try to get on like 6:30 every Sunday, do it for about an hour or so. Be blessed again. Have a fantastic week. Love you. Thank you for your support. And we're just having fun here. Again, family chats where sports brings the family together. Love you guys. Have a fantastic week. We'll be back next week.
Thanks
Have
for
a great
being,
one.
Thanks for being a part of the family.